Hello, Board Game Workshop. My name's Adam Singer, and I'm the designer of Terraform on Mars, a game for 2 to 6 players. It takes about 40 to 60 minutes to play, and it's recommended for ages 10 and up. Terraform on Mars innovates on the board game genres that you're used to seeing because it's actually a roll and write variant that I call a speak and write. Each player is going to be managing 2 grids that represent plots of land on Mars. One grid is meant for excavation and building, and the other grid is meant for exploration with your Mars rover. The reason I call this a speak and write is because there's no dice at all. Each player on their turn is going to pick one grid to fill in privately and one grid to announce publicly that all players must fill in. Filling in a grid represents excavating an area, and if you excavate enough, you'll be able to build a building there. Creating buildings is the main goal in Terraform on Mars, and it's going to be how you gain your victory points. When you excavate enough spaces on your grid, you'll be able to build that building in those spaces, gaining the victory points and any other bonuses that come along with it. But it's not so easy as just filling in the spaces and then building those buildings, because each time you fill a space, your Mars rover is going to move depending on what space you filled in. In this prototype, I have spaces colored as either white or gray, and when you fill in a white space, your Mars rover has to move to an adjacent white space. And if you fill in a gray space, your Mars rover has to move to an adjacent gray space. If you're efficient with these movements, you can pick up a lot of extra bonuses throughout the game. Because of the speak and write nature of this game, you only have partial control of which spaces you get to fill. Since on every other player's turn, they're going to be announcing a public space that everyone has to fill in. Luckily, you do have some flexibility because there's one more type of card in this game, and that's called the redirect card. This is going to allow you to offset the spaces that you're going to be required to fill in to make them more advantageous for you. This game is centered around the speak and write concept, but then builds upon it to create a game with a unique flavor that constantly presents a challenge to your plans, but always gives you enough options to mitigate those challenges or make the best of a situation. Welcome to Mars. You'll love it here.